So this episode casually reveals that Kana isn't alone as the only player in what once was her game, but now is reality. And I think they handled that so well because Kana's definitely showed signs of doubt that she could be the only one here. She just firmly believed that most likely the connections she once had are no longer there. But to have the first other player you interact with be a kid who firmly believes that it is still a game, that when you PK or kill players, that they're just going to respawn. It is simply a game. And the fact that you can't sit down and have a conversation, hey, how did you get trapped in what once was a game and now is reality? Did you die too? Is there other mechanics that can put you into this world? No, you have a kid who very much, if left unchecked, would probably destroy this world. I mean, a couple weeks back, Kana had to reflect about killing people, right? What once was a game to her, she now had to kill bandits, right? It's something that it was murder. No matter how much she believed those characters needed to be put down, killing someone is not something that's going to go easy on the soul, on top of realizing that things like pain are now a part of once was a leisurely activity. And the fact that she came so close, going from feeling guilt about killing to willingly wanting to kill what was someone from her original world, seemingly, was really interesting and I think handled quite well. Because it's not just like she had a temper tantrum or anything like that. This was someone who has caused so much hell, and having someone who has an arsenal of video game mechanics at their fingertips, who believes it's still a game and this clearly is now a reality, it's something that is basically a walking apocalypse in the making, and you can't have people like that unchecked. And honestly, I honestly thought she was going to kill. I wasn't expecting the granddaughter there to come in and basically say, no, we're going to take a prisoner. But it's interesting nonetheless to see what they reveal in this episode and how casually. Now, I didn't take a look at any opinions on this episode, but my gut does tell me that there might be some pushback maybe against her just so casually accepting that there's other players. But I think when you really do think about how she's responded, she definitely feels a sense of loneliness, but she also has given me the impression that she doesn't fully believe she can be the only one still in this world. And as they talk about in this episode, depending on the race that they were playing as, they very much can live hundreds of years, if not maybe even thousands, depending on the character, right? So I thought they did a great job at handling that after kicking it off so comfy and fun. I mean, watching her take care of what literally would have destroyed that entire army in a matter of seconds, I thought was well animated, and just, it was great to see the shocked reactions, especially for, the granddaughter's right-hand woman there who just was like jaw on the floor, not knowing what's gonna go on. But I think what I love about Kana the most is how she's someone who, when you look at her character design, right, there's nothing overly fan service about it. There's nothing about her personality that feels gimmicky or one-dimensional. The reason she's such a rootable character is that she is confident and strong, but also shows sign of emotions when she does feel weak and at her lowest. And she just overall feels like a person you want to root for. And honestly, that's why looking at something that should be a villainous scene, oh my god, a nice character is now going from feeling guilt about killing to willingly wanting to kill. But in this world, I mean, can you really just hope that someone like that doesn't break out of a dungeon? Realistically, she probably was in the right to want to kill, because despite it being a kid, that kid ain't all there in this head. And do you really want to hope that someone who is leading an army of bandits and horrifying the entire village and country, most likely, like these types of people, you can't leave unchecked? And it's pretty powerful stuff if you ask me. Though I thought it was absolutely brilliant how they ended the episode with her talking about Mai-Mai and how she's excited to see the reaction after the message she left. I love how she can have fun with her family while still loving her family all at the same time. It's absolutely brilliant. Though the reveal of the next tower and how, this like tsundere skeleton princess here, and how she is given a book, and when you open the book, that reaction was comedy gold. But to have this like little fairy that mimics every reaction of Kana. When she gets grumpy, she gets grumpy. When she's happy or doing a hand sign, the fairy does the same thing. I'm curious why it can't speak just yet. I'm wondering if we need to infuse it with a spell or something. I'm not sure. But I think it'll be fun to have like an extra personality to go off Kana's ramblings and emotions, because one Kana is already comedy gold, but add a miniature Kana doing the same type of reactions, it just adds the cuteness and hilarious factor up a couple of notches, I find. But seriously, we're halfway through the season of In the Land of Leadale, and it just feels like I'm loving it more. It feels like something that I could watch these characters and situations for weeks on end. I can watch our girl pull out what basically is a bird turtle that can Beyblade into a bunch of bandits, as much as I can just watch her contemplate what is reality and what that means for her. Definitely the biggest question for me leading this episode, is it going to go the route of there are other players who used to play this game, but now this has become their reality? Are they going to go the route of if they died in the world, is it like, okay, so now they get a second chance at life in the game they once played? Or is there going to be a multi-factor way of players being essentially trapped in what is their new world? Is there a way to go back? There's definitely those questions, but as it stands, one thing has definitely remained true since the beginning. This is reality, and reality is now a lot different, especially breaking away from things that, a gamer mindset. You can die 1,000 times, you can go after that boss, and no, this time there is no resets. What once were NPC bandits that, just you kill and you didn't think anything of it, they bleed, they scream, and they probably also had a family all at the same time. They're definitely taking it in a mature direction while still having fun 90% of the time, but never letting that fun override the darker themes that it's definitely trying to explore. And I think they're doing a hell of a great job. Voice actors are remaining on point. I mean, I love the color palette and the way this world looks. It's such a fun show to me. I'm very interested, though, to see, because now that we're essentially halfway through this first season, is there going to be any other players that she meets, or was this kind of like a fluke, something that's going to make her think there's more and there's actually not? Either way, I'm glad that she does accept this as reality, because if this was something like, she was tiptoeing, is this real, is this fake, she meets a player, okay, it is all fake, I don't have to get connected, then the family connection she's built would mean nothing. But I'm glad that she does accept it as reality, but she also accepts that there's very much more players than just her that now have to accept this as reality, and given her incredible power, she basically can act as the guardian angel to this world to anyone who might try to harm it and those connections that she makes along the way. This show's fantastic. This show is one of the biggest pleasant surprises I think I've had in some time. I thought it was going to be a pretty damn good show walking in, but I didn't realize how good the writing actually would turn out, despite there being a good handful of people telling me and just seeing kind of like rumblings online, Twitter, Reddit, things like that. It's just great to see that this show, it's so much more than initially meets the eye, and I think many people looking in who haven't started it would say, there's nothing too much there, it's a fantasy show, who the hell cares? But really watching Kaina's relationships and her personality grow after losing everything and getting a chance to start anew, there's so many conflicting feelings for her, and her highest and her lowest are just as interesting as any other emotions that come in between those. Thoughts and feelings on this week's In the Land of Leadale episode. Most shocking moment for you that isn't just the fact that they casually reveal player killers. Favorite moment if you have any. Leave a like if you enjoyed and subscribe if you're new around here. Till next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.